Hello, everyone. So today we got to play Pendulum.
Well, there's the box.
Yay, look at that. So basically this game is a timed worker placement game.
More action selection, I think, is what instead of
action selection.
Yeah, because you're
worker placement.
Yeah, it is worker placement because you're blocking other players depending on the action. So it is worker placement. It's a little bit of everything because you've got some
resource management,
deck building.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on in this game.
You got engine
one
building.
huge unique aspect of the game.
Yeah. So. Well, let's talk about quality pieces before we get really in depth into gameplay. I think they got the general overview. So quality of pieces, you've got plastic meeples, you've got plastic components, plastic cubes. You've got these really pretty timers.
Sand timers.
Work half the time.
The purple one's the worst one.
Yeah.
I think because the tube is just so small, sometimes you have to.
Looks like green might be stuck right now.
It is.
It is. Oh, great. So be aware that with these, they do get stuck. You do have to pay attention to them, and you may have to...
We do not recommend trying to cook eggs based upon the,
right.
the timers.
Yeah. The player board itself is a little thin, but it's got that...
but it's not cardboard.
It's not cardboard. It's got that...
it's more like a linen type material.
Yeah.
And so it's waterproof. You won't have to worry about that.
Oh.
So that's good.
Yeah, we didn't point out the fact that we got Birdman back.
I know! He's out of quarantine. That's so exciting. You were getting a little lonely.
I was getting very lonely.
So
I still try to avoid him.
yeah, so he'll probably be here every day for a while, which is great. So, and then the player board is just or not your player board, but your main board is pretty standard. So give it a rating, guys. Is there anything...
I'm not a big fan of the plastic meeples.
I'm fine with it.
I would have preferred the wood.
like them.
I would prefer them in wood.
I don't.
I just like in plastic because it's different. You don't see that very often.
It is different. That doesn't mean it's good. But
it's not necessarily bad either. So
I like the plastic over the wood myself.
I don't like them better. I just like them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And for this, it makes a lot of sense. I don't know. It just feels right for this game.
So what would you give it as score-wise?
I asked you guys first.
Oh, well, that don't count. I would probably go with 7.
Really?
I like it. The quality, the components are decent as far as the individual components for each person, but the timers, which is the most important part of the game, if they get stuck, it totally changes the game. Mm. And that's a huge part of it. I think this would have been a very different game if the timers worked properly. Because the purple stuck quite a bit, which meant that the black and the green got flipped over more often.
Yeah, but I'm the one that got really kicked because
I don't think so. I think that you guys manipulated that better than I did, knowing being able to flip those over and do those actions more often than I did. And so if I would have, granted, if I was paying attention and be able to did that as many times as you guys did, that may have made a difference. I don't know. But the fact that you were able to do it.
There was run round, though, completely. I didn't get to do any of the purple actions because, and then the time before, because you guys were hogging the purple, and then the time before that, it got stuck, and I ended up losing 2 workers for a green, at least one green flip, which killed, green and a blue just waiting on that purple because it was stuck. So that was very annoying. And so I kind of agree with you. If these had been better, I think it definitely would have deserved a higher score. But because of those, I agree.
I've read on Boardgame Geek people using colored digital, like little digital timers on the side of the board.
You might have to switch that at some
just
point.
Making it a much better experience.
Well, see, the thing is I don't know about the digital timers because I wouldn't want anything to beep at you because if you're not paying it, part of the game is to pay attention to the timer, right?
Right.
And so I don't want something that would beep or anything else like that. I would want something that you would kind of have to notice, but it needs to work efficiently. So maybe you could not have it where the digital one didn't have an alarm. Maybe you'd have to check or something like that.
Or you could just look around and see what type of timers are out there. There might be a digital looking sand timer so that then you could set on a little stool or whatever and it would be able to flip it.
Yeah, see, that would be really cool. So Yeah, they need to do something with these timers, and that's really bummer. What would you give it as a score?
I mean, the timers are a big issue. Like I said, I don't like the plastic meeples. I do like the cards, however. The cards
are nice.
Really nice stock. They got a nice check texture.
Really colorful.
So, I'm probably going to go with 7 just because the cards are significant in this game, and I would probably give them an 8. And the player boards I like a lot as well. Not as thick as I'd like, and I wish it had a place to indent for that, because that gets bumped a lot with all the chaos of things.
Yeah, there was a couple of times I erred on the side of caution and moved mine down one instead of, because I was like,
it'd be nice if they were indented.
Yeah, an overlay would be nice.
Yeah, because that there is a lot of chaos in this game.
There is,
and it's easy to bump those. So.
It's no joke.
Yeah, 7 is probably the highest I could go. It might even go down to a 6 the more I think about that as a problem in addition to the timers. Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating because there's so many nice pieces to this that to have problems.
And it's a fun game. So
we haven't got there yet.
I know.
All right, so let's move on to theme. I don't know what the theme is, guys.
I don't know.
I mean, there's fantasy. There's fantasy.
You're at a dam and the mountain's flooding. And that's
a giant pendulum.
That's a totally different game. Yeah, totally different game, but same situation. There's monsters. There's
so like you're exploring over here. Okay, so I get it. You're exploring to get production.
Well, it says here in Pendulum, each player is a powerful noble vying to succeed the timeless king. Caps. So his name is Timeless King, apparently. As the true ruler of Dunya, each noble in the game is unique. Players command their workers, execute stratagems, and expand the provinces in their domain in real time to gain resources, votes, and move up the 4 victory tracks: power, prestige, popularity, and legendary achievement. Why they couldn't come up with a word to start with a P for the last one, I don't know. Use your time wisely, as the player who has shown themselves the most fit to rule during the final council will be declared the new timeless ruler. Not timeless king.
Know that.
Just ruler.
Just ruler.
Yeah. There's only one timeless king.
Yeah, his name is Timeless King, so.
There's only one.
All I know was the Justicar,
Yeah.
and it was a lion, and I'm a Leo, so I thought that was cool.
Alrighty then.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Honestly,
but
the theme is completely irrelevant.
Yeah,
all of it matters is you flip a lot
mechanics at all.
Yeah, you flip a lot of timers and you panic a lot. That's basically it.
So what would you give it for rating for theme?
Come on, you're gonna do high again?
No, I would say maybe a 5. I'd say. I mean, 5.
At least they wrote a paragraph about it.
Well, they did. Well, Whistle Mountain had a paragraph too, and you rated that a 7 out of the blue for no reason.
Well, no, it made sense then. I just can't remember what they are now, but it made sense. Watch the video.
I have total out of the blue 7. Darn it!
In your opinion, and you're wrong half the time, so it don't count. So.
I am gonna give it a 5. And I gave that for Whistle Mountain too, because I have no idea what the theme is. Right. I will say the art is nice. The board looks pretty. These look pretty. So because art goes with theme,
right? That's why I did a 7. I bet, because
the art on Whistle Mountain
is such a pretty game.
It was not pretty. It was just a bunch of
the board is awesome.
I like your player. She's cool looking.
All right, you're easily distracted.
I am.
So.
We were talking about art.
The art is pretty, so it does get some points for that.
That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as it makes 0 sense why this is the theme to this game. So, yeah, I mean, I'll give it a 7 in this case, taking your 7, because of the art. I like my dragon is really cool. That makes
no sense, Randy.
Wow. Where did that voice come from?
You.
I mean, there is some of it in there, right? Like, I don't know what these little circles mean, but I do, like,
well, that means sun, that means laurels, and that means get punched in the face.
It's just the shape of the piece. I mean...
What are those?
They're
plastic.
Power, prestige. They're words that start with P. Power, prestige, popularity, and legendary achievements.
And pumice stone.
Well, wait, this is popularity, right? 'Cause
No, those are votes.
Those are votes. I think legendary
That's
achievements
legendary
is that.
achievement.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know which one the sun
Yeah,
is.
the theme isn't. I don't understand the theme
Yeah.
on this one. I got no clue. So give the. Am I the only one that
You're the
has
only
You're
it?
the only one that hasn't.
No, you said 5.
Yeah,
I
You
said
said
5.
5.
I
And
said
you
5.
And I said I'm being the generous one
Right.
with 7 because the art being included.
Well, you know, if
I
we were
love the
just
art.
the art is fantastic.
I love the art.
I mean, but I think Robert talked about this in another particular game. That guess what? Sometimes themes don't matter, and I think
Right.
this is probably one of those games.
I agree.
So moving on to the rules. How was the rules, Randy? 'Cause I don't remember the rules when you read this because this is our.
I mean,
This is
third.
our second.
No, it's me and Randy's third.
Okay, it's my second.
Your
playthrough.
second time.
yeah.
playing
Well,
through.
we played the first time through using the alternate rules that are
Correct.
for starters, and I'm glad we did. The rules
it
are
was
not.
good to get a stone.
And I do recommend that. So there's a variant where you don't have to use the timers to learn the game. Highly recommend that the first time.
Oh,
Yeah.
highly recommend that.
The rules. The nice thing about the rules is they have a setup sheet that is separate from the rules.
Mhm.
So, like when we got this back out after not playing for a few months, I was able to quickly recall what we needed from
Your
just
few
the
months
setup
is
sheet.
not quite accurate.
Hey.
It was like a month ago.
Are you going to time it? I can time it. Or we'll see how long that takes.
No, but you keep doing this in videos. You say several weeks ago. I'm like, no, that was like last week.
I can double check, but this is definitely longer than a month.
Yeah.
For sure.
Really?
Yeah.
For sure.
It doesn't feel like it.
Because
The timer's still going.
Because remember, I pre-ordered it, and that was
Mhm.
what I got Randy for his birthday. Is I bought 2 copies of the limited edition.
Then how did I
ones.
remember this game from months ago?
And so we've had this.
So-
for
Well, it
quite
leaves a
some time.
lasting impression because you're like scrambling and panicking. in
That's
this
true.
game.
I mean, that's the key to the game
Yeah.
is chaos.
Yeah, I mean, the rule book's not laid out badly. There's just things that are missing from it. It's like, for example, what we ran into with turn order and who's supposed to get privilege when we start the game out. It's
Mhm.
basically, we had to go on Boardgame Geek to look it up. So there's minor things like that that turn into major impacts in the game, which would lead me into some of my criticisms in a minute. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 7. There's a lot to it. It's 20 something pages long.
Understandably,
Holy
there's a
moly.
lot to the game.
Yeah,
There's a lot to the game, though, to be fair.
yeah. This is not a beginner's game. This is something I would say it's medium to medium.
I think
heavy.
it's very important to play with the beginner variant
Yeah.
when you do it for the first time. But so let's move on to gameplay because I think we trust your rule.
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Gameplay. So there is a lot going on in this game. So the obvious,
Simultaneously going on.
Yes.
yeah. So the biggest thing is it is a free for all, guys. It's a free for all. Like you got to do your things and you got to do it quickly. The key thing there is you've got these timers, and so you line up your workers to wherever you
The timer isn't.
where the
Okay.
timer isn't, the row that the timer isn't. And when the timer is done, you can move it. Anyone can, okay? So you may not want to move it right away because you may not want to, because you may hold off on purple, you may hold off on green. They are stuck.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so then you move it over and then you can take that action at any point. So you may be busy with green because, Randrac flipped over the black. You're busy doing your green thing. But if you don't pay attention and that black runs out and they flip it over again,
It's
then,
stuck.
then you've lost your
Yeah.
chance to activate that action.
And your workers are stuck whenever the timer lands on them. So you cannot remove a worker that is sitting where the timer is.
Correct.
So,
So
you've got to be watching and mindful of where your people are in the time that's remaining on
Yeah.
all 3 of the egg timers.
And you only start with 2 figures that you can play with, but you can go up to 4,
Five.
5,
Five.
and that's really chaotic. At
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Like I was
Right.
busting
And
out.
while you're also looking at the actions on the board, you also have your deck of cards that you're playing,
Mhm.
and you can play those at any time too. Which leads me into my first criticism of this game is it's very easy to cheat. So if you
True.
basically have to be on an honor system in this
True.
game, and it's not only is it easy to cheat, it's also easy to mistakenly do something.
Right. Yeah. It's easy to cheat unintentionally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when you're paying costs, that's a.
Did I remember to pay the 2
Yeah,
gold or not?
Exactly. So there's cost associated with most of the actions on the board, and you've got to remember pay first, then take the action, and it specifies that in the rules. But also, you bump the counters on your board while you're doing something
Did
chaotically.
fall off?
Yeah, or you put the card down, you forgot, or you've got your bonus workers that you haven't gotten yet, and you accidentally pick one of those up. So it's easy to accidentally do things because of all the chaos that's going on, and nobody's policing you because they're all busy with their own board. So it is a solo game in essence that you're playing, but you're playing on the honor system.
But I mean, you're interacting with it. Yeah, the other people are getting in your way. I actually like the chaos, assuming you have gamers that you trust. And honestly,
True.
If someone wants to win the game because they're cheating, let them freaking win the game. I mean, I have a problem with.
They want it that bad.
If they want it that bad, let them have it.
And it's not even a win.
Yeah, so. It's not even a true win anyway. So I'm actually fine with the chaos. I actually like the chaos. It keeps you entertained. It's not one of those sit and wait games, right?
Yeah,
like
you're definitely not waiting for your turn.
Moving.
It's constantly moving. I mean, the only time you wait is when the last purple flips and you can't flip over any timers left. And
yeah, but we were ending our turns and we're pretty much ready to go as soon as that purple timer was done.
Yeah, so I mean, well before then sometimes. Also, keep note, there are 4 different production tracks. So you're building your production abilities, but there's 4 different ones. So like there's a gold production on the black. There's a red production on the green timer. On the blue timer, there are 2 different kind of production tracks. So that's another thing that you have to keep track of is exploring areas, picking the production in the area that you're going to choose because you only get one, and then being able to build that production. Another thing to keep track of, right? And you're allowed to get more than 2 cards during the game, but at the end of the round, you've got to go back to two cards.
Unless you have a modifier like I got early on that lets you keep 3.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that piece as well. We talked about the deck building. There's a bunch of actions. We're not going to go into all of them with you guys. And then the other piece of it is you're trying to get these fist track, laurels track.
You're trying to get power, prestige, popularity, and legendary achievements.
There are 3 rows at the top of your player board that you got to get to the farthest most, and your victory is based on the lowest one.
Assuming you got all of them across the parchment.
Assuming you get all the ones across the parchment.
If one of them isn't across the parchment,
you
can't win the game.
Right. Including the gray one, which is basically you've got to get a silver token from this card here.
Which is an end round scoring that you have a certain condition that you have to meet, and if you're the first one to meet it, you can take the silver token as a reward, a memento for that victory, and then you get to move into that.
In the first round in the 3-player game, you don't even get the option. So 3-player game, there's basically 3 rounds. If you have to be able to get it during a round,
yes,
you're out of luck.
Yeah, and I try to do that as quickly as possible because I don't want to be the one left with that one. I think that covers all the different pieces minimally. There's a lot going on in this game, but I really do enjoy it. And it stays busy. And here's another piece of it. So we hadn't played this game, I guess, in a couple of months because who knows what, I don't know, whatever. But I remember this game and it's like, hey, I want to play this. And I want, it's very unique.
Mm-hmm.
It is very busy and it's fantastic. I really do enjoy it. What is your overall viewpoint?
I really liked it as well. I like the components, like I said. Timer's a little disappointing, but it's not a killer. It's not a game killer to me. This game, it kind of was very bipolar when it first came out. Got a lot of love, got a lot of hate. And so one of the reasons why I got a lot of hate was because of these timers. And it's a simultaneous action game. A lot of people don't like that.
Oh, I love it.
So I like that aspect
I
of it.
do too.
It's the other things I don't like about it. I don't like the fact that the timers don't work. I don't like that the player order is so significant to the game. It is such a it could
But so many games are though.
not to
Yeah.
the level this one is.
No,
I
disagree.
I disagree because there's so many games that if you're first player and you're able to get that specific
Right.
spot on the board, you
to
can
have
win the
your
game.
first round be picked randomly and yet that be such an impact on it is a huge fault.
And maybe that's why in the 3-player game the getting the star of the legendary doesn't matter. Maybe it's to offset that.
To me that's a fault in the game. If you randomly pick who goes first and that determines the tiebreaker for situations that can put you into a position where you get a significant advantage, that's a problem. Now, I do love the engine building, which is why I spent most of my energy on doing engine building because I love that aspect of it, and I like the chaos of it to an extent. Although that's probably the part I'm the worst at. But I would rather play Galaxy Trucker and enjoy the chaos in that as opposed to this.
Oh no, I like this. I like this
a lot more.
Yeah,
I like this a
I
lot
enjoy
more.
Galaxy Trucker vastly more than this game.
But I would like to point out something. So he focused on the production piece, where I focused on the cards. And I don't know what you really kind of focused on.
I don't focus in games. That's why I lose.
Oh, that explains a lot.
He focused on what was going on outside the game,
Right.
The TV, the cat, the squirrels.
Even though there's no TV in here, but yeah,
There is.
There's a TV there. It just
that's not on.
Well, Dad, I can't help it that you like to be focused on TVs that are not active.
And so, to be fair to this game, even within the game, you can do your own thing, which is I thought you would actually appreciate was that there are different ways to get
I
points.
do, but there's
limited.
too much chaos. There's too many options with the timers going simultaneously. It's almost like sensory overload for me.
I can see that because you like to critically think everything.
Yeah.
He takes a long time to
And
do
variable
his
player
turns,
powers.
guys.
Everybody's got different player powers on the cards. I love that. Again, there's so much. It's almost like what mechanics did we forget? Let's go ahead and throw them in there somehow. And they crammed almost everything into this game.
But I love the chaos. I gotta admit, I love the chaos, and it doesn't allow people to think too hard because you're forced to.
We didn't even play with these.
Yeah.
Oh, you could. That's just the alternate side of these boards.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the thing for me is that if you're in a time crunch and you don't want, if you're with people that take way too long for their turn, this might be the game.
It's well worth a try.
It's different.
You
That's
absolutely
for sure.
should play this at least one time to build your own opinion off of it. But I enjoyed it. Miranda enjoyed it. Randy,
It's a stick in mud.
Yeah.
No, I just, if I'm going to play a chaotic game, I would rather play Galaxy Trucker because I think it's vastly superior as far as its design. And, as far as this game, I think it seems like the Stonemaier Games of late, it's almost like we keep getting this, they almost like, maybe it's like, maybe that's why they chose Pendulum as the name of this, because it's like you can swing one way and get really good things, or swing to the very extreme and get bad reviews. And it's like, I really enjoy certain aspects of this a lot, and other things of it, I think they really need a lot of improvement in this game.
So, like what specifically?
The timers,
but that's
the
a quality.
I mean,
the timers is a quality issue, right? So let's just say we can fix that with finding our own timers.
Like I said, if the chaos is occurring, you need to have it where your board is more supportive of that. Which is right now, everything can get bumped easily. The fact that these are first player, is randomly chosen at the beginning, and it wasn't even in the book, and we had to go online to find that out. I mean, I can't overlook those things.
Well, here's the thing. So most of what you're missing, though, is a quality of piece issue, and except for the starting thing. But I don't know how else you would do that.
I don't either. I mean, 99% of all games, it's the same
problem I have with Tapestry. I love aspects of Tapestry. It's got everything that you would think I would love in a game. It has all the attributes that I look for in a game, and I was so excited to play it the first time, and then I found all the faults with the game. And it was like very frustrating. I wanted to love it, but I can't. I want to love this game, and I can't.
Here's my thing is I think I can't rate this game poorly because quality of pieces, right? Like I get that there's some massive improvement that can be done whether we like it enough to be able to do those improvements, I might be willing to do it because I actually really enjoy this game. And if we could fix those, and maybe that, and that's the feedback that I would like to give is there's quality issues that affect the gameplay that need to be corrected. But if they address those, I think this game is fantastic. I really enjoy it.
If you can fix that and fix the turn order situation for the beginning of the game in particular.
Okay, we'll play rock, paper, scissors.
No,
Best out of 3 wins.
Again, I think you need some other mechanism than random choice.
And just to be honest, I'm not trying to poke a bear or anything, but if you would have won that randomization,
it still wouldn't have mattered.
You still would have said
it's still
that
a fault.
hate that.
No, it's still a fault in the game. That it's a random selection that can have that much impact, where it gives you 2 levels up on your thing and first choice of those cards.
My thing is, if we had done it at the beginning of the game where it wouldn't have mattered about the tie, because we wouldn't know about the tie, I don't think you would have said that there was an issue.
I still think it's a problem. No matter what, I think it's a problem.
So, I'm just saying I don't think...
Okay, but if you don't like randomly picking someone as first starting player, how else would you do it?
Well, when the book specifically says there is no first player, I mean, it made a big paragraph to say there is no first player in this game.
And it's not a first player. We're all acting at the same time.
But it causes somebody to get that significant of an advantage.
At the end of round... The only issue was the tie. Because at the end of round 1, whoever has the most votes...
But we tied twice, you and I think you two... Did you tie once? Or there was at least 2 ties in the game.
So here's my thing is, then don't do it based on seniority on that first round. Do it on based how many resources you guys have left over.
Right. And then the other thing is the in-game scoring also could result in a tie very easily. And the tiebreaker of that, again, is turn order. So to me, turn order is just overly powerful when it shouldn't be. So I just think there needs to be some...
I will say that as we get better in the gameplay, there is a concern that we could cap out on both ends.
I think we will. I mean, we were very close to doing that this game.
I mean, I did reach cap.
Yeah.
Across all 3. You were, what, like...
1 away. I had 1 away.
You were 1 away from getting cap.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about where I got.
But
to be fair, but me and him have played one more time.
But
like
then it would have been a matter of a tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker being turn order, which I think
you would have won.
But it's irrelevant who would have won it.
Well, the thing is, but you got more votes. Like, I did not focus on votes the last turn. I was just trying to get all my little circles.
I didn't really focus on them. It just happened.
How do you randomly just get votes?
I had production for them.
Because, see, and that's why I don't agree with that. Because if you're intentionally trying to get votes, then you're manipulating the game so that you know that you'll place higher up on that track, so that in case there is a tie, you will come out on top. That's an intentional act.
Yeah, and
just
not
like
only that though, but you get
game.
2 circles.
Spent a lot of time on
a lot
this
of time,
subject, but the fact is
you don't. Like
I don't like it nearly as well as you do.
Okay, well, let's give it a score, guys.
Overall, I'd give it an 8.
Yeah, I mean, I would at least give it an 8. Part of me wants to give it a 9, except these quality issues kept banging in the way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the quality issues were fixed,
even if that was fixed, it's still not a 9 to me. Just because it's just not a 9 game to me. It's a good game. It's a great game. It's an 8. 8's a good score.
Yeah,
but it's not.
I mean,
9 game.
I think the thing is that I love the chaos. Mm-hmm. I love the continuous action. I like games that are like this because I don't have to wait on nobody.
But you didn't want Galaxy Trucker.
I like Galaxy Trucker fine. No, it's good actually. I actually kind of like it because it's the whole building the thing. It's just I don't think it is good. I suck at that one too, by the way. It's just not as good as this one. Mm-hmm. Because there's so much more to do. My thing is I get bored very, very easily. And so when I'm waiting on people, it drives me nuts. And this game,
you don't do that.
I don't have to do that. I can just do my thing, and there's something to be said for that. And I think that's probably maybe why I like it so much is I don't like waiting. You'll find that out very quickly about me.
Right. And so what's your overall score?
What's your overall score?
I'm going 6. I cannot overlook there's too many faults in the process. And I would love for this to be higher. But, I feel the same way about Tapestry. I would love to give it higher. As a matter of fact, I feel stronger with Tapestry than I do this one. I would love for Tapestry to rate a 9 or 10.
Well, Tapestry, we know what the issue is there.
Yeah, there's just, I mean, even with the fixes, it's still broken.
Hey, come on. Let's not get into Tapestry. We're not reviewing
But
Tapestry
overall, we didn't get into this, but Pendulum was released this year. It's a 2020 game, so it's still a new game. Designed by Travis P. Jones. Jones, yeah. Artist is Robert Leask, and the BGG rating was 6.9, so it's below 7.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I do think the quality issues really hurt this game.
I agree.
But I think if you could fix the quality issues, I think it would have probably gotten a higher score.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that there is a lot of people that love it, and there will probably be a lot of people that hate it, because there are some people that do not like being timed.
End of the day, I'll play it again.
I will too. I will play it again.
I will probably be forced to play it. I mean, I like, again, the engine aspects of it, and that part of it I love, and I just wish they could fix the holes. And, I know they tried to do that with Tapestry. I don't know if they'll try to do that with this one or not.
Yeah. So, well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We had a lot, me and Robert had a lot of fun tonight. And it was so good to get Birdman back. So glad to have him back, and we appreciate you guys for joining us. If you please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, so you can see more of what we do. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.